Are there is there particular stories or a particular take that you've had about a player that you've then regretted later on?
Allen Iverson. It's hard to admit this as an objective observer, a journalist, commentator, now all of this other stuff. But I love Allen Iverson. He's like a little brother to me. And covering him, being an African American from the streets of New York, knowing his story and knowing what he endured, we went through a lot together covering him. I don't believe I'm sitting here in this position today if it were not for Allen Iverson. Covering him was a separate beat in and of itself. When he was a star in this league, the only person more popular than him, one could easily argue, was Michael Jordan. That's how popular Allen Iverson was. And he didn't always do the right things. And sometimes that stuff was hard to write. And a whole bunch of stuff I didn't say and I didn't write. But sometimes it left you no choice. And one time, the last time, his last stint with the Philadelphia 76ers, we didn't speak for 2 years because he was upset that I had written an article about him. He was away from the team. Supposedly his kid was sick or whatever, but then they saw him partying. And he didn't know any of this, but one of my editors said, "I thought you said Allen Iverson was with his family." I said, he is. That's what he told me, whatever. He turned around the computer and had video of Iverson surrounded by hundreds of people, And he said, "You write it or we'll take it out of your hands and we'll have our department write it." And so I had to write the story about how he wasn't with the team and et cetera, et cetera. And he was incredibly hurt. And we couldn't connect for a couple of years. And I started hearing that if y'all saw each other, it would be a problem, man. He won't put his hands on you, whatever. Well, that's the worst thing somebody could say to me. Because, I'm not scared of anybody. But more importantly, I got boys just like everybody else. So I went down to Atlanta looking for him. And I had a few of my boys with me, and I went down there looking for him, and I found him. And we met up. And it wasn't any of that. He said, "Man, I don't care about the article. It's that it came from you." And when he said that, I felt this small.
Yeah.
Because I got it. I didn't know. He has a job as a player. I have a job as a reporter. And that was it. And by that time, I was a columnist, et cetera, et cetera. And I looked at it as that. And I never thought I'm here thinking he had a problem with the story. He had no problem with the story. He said, "I deal with that every day. It's the fact that your name was on the byline." And I really didn't say much.
Yeah.
But when I saw the hurt in his eyes, the story wasn't worth it to me.
Well, that was a pretty deep story. It was a side to Stephen A. that we don't see very often, especially on First Take. But that's just the benefit of JJ Redick's podcast. And I'll have a link to the full podcast in the description. But it is a very good episode where Stephen A. breaks down everything. And that includes his personal life and his professional life, how he got to be big on ESPN, how he met with Skip Bayless, how everything kind of started out. It's a very different side to Stephen A. Smith. Again, the link is in the description. But let me know in the comments, what did you guys make of this specific story about Allen Iverson? That is all I have for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I will see you in the next upload.